A man walks into a room full of billionaires and chooses to do nothing. Not nothing exactly. He reads, he waits, he says no, over and over again. And somehow, that refusal to act built one of the largest fortunes in human history. Now here's the uncomfortable part. If that same man, Warren Buffett, woke up today with just $100, he wouldn't try to flip it. He wouldn't trade it. He wouldn't chase the next big thing. He would do something far more boring and far more dangerous to your current beliefs about money. Because the real question isn't how to turn 100 into 1,000 quickly. It's whether you're willing to play a game where speed feels like losing. Let's start with the obvious problem. $100 is not a lot of money. It's a dinner, a small purchase, something you forget about by next week, which is exactly why most people treat it carelessly. Buffett wouldn't, because to him, the number doesn't matter. The behavior does. If you can't handle 100 correctly, you won't handle 100,000 correctly either. That's not philosophy. That's pattern recognition. So what would he actually do? Step 1 is frustratingly simple. He would not invest it immediately. He would pause, because the first investment isn't the stock, it's the filter. Buffett has spent decades building a mental system that rejects almost everything. Imagine looking at 1,000 opportunities and saying no to 995 of them. That's the job. Not picking winners, avoiding losers. With $100, this matters even more, because one bad decision isn't a setback. It's half your capital gone. So instead of asking, "What should I buy?" he asks a different question. What is so obviously good that I'd still want it if the market closed tomorrow for 10 years? That single filter eliminates most of what people talk about online. No hype, no trends, no urgency. If it feels urgent, it's probably wrong. Now here's where things get uncomfortable, because Buffett wouldn't diversify $100 across 10 different stocks. That sounds safe. It isn't. It's just spreading ignorance more evenly. With small capital, he would concentrate. One idea, maybe two, but only if he understands them deeply. And that word, understand, is doing a lot of work here. He doesn't mean recognizing a logo. He means knowing how the business makes money, why customers keep coming back, and what could destroy it. If that sounds like too much effort for $100, that's the point. Most people want investing to feel easy. Buffett assumes it should feel slow and slightly uncomfortable. Now let's talk about where that 100 actually goes, not into cheap stocks. That's a common trap. A $5 stock isn't cheaper than a $500 stock. It's just smaller in appearance. Buffett thinks in terms of value, not price. He's asking, if I owned the entire business, would I be happy with what it earns? So with $100 today, he's likely looking at something very unexciting. A large, boring, predictable company. Something that sells products people will still need in 10 years. Something with pricing power. Something that quietly raises prices while customers barely notice. It's not flashy. It doesn't double overnight. It compounds. Slowly. Relentlessly. And here's where the math starts to shift. Because the real advantage isn't picking a stock that goes up 20% next year. It's picking something you won't sell. That's the hidden mechanism most people miss. Returns aren't just about what you buy. They're about how long you can sit still. Let's say that $100 earns an average of 10% a year. After 1 year, you have 110. Not impressive. After 5 years, about 161. Still not life-changing. After 20 years, around 672. Now it's interesting. After 40 years, over 4,500. Same $100. No trading, no timing, no brilliance, just time doing the heavy lifting. This is the part people reject, because it feels too slow, and because it requires something harder than intelligence. Restraint. Buffett's real skill isn't predicting markets. It's ignoring them. While everyone else reacts to headlines, he waits. While others panic, he does nothing. And occasionally, when something truly obvious appears, he moves. That's the rhythm. Long periods of inactivity. Short bursts of conviction. Now contrast this with what most people actually do with $100. They experiment. They chase. They treat it like a lottery ticket. Crypto spikes? They jump in. A stock trends on social media? They follow. A friend mentions a sure thing? They listen. It feels active. It feels smart. It's usually just noise. And here's the irony. The smaller the amount, the more reckless the behavior. Because losing 100 doesn't hurt much, but the habit it builds does. Buffett understands that habits scale. If you train yourself to chase with 100, you'll chase with 10,000. If you learn patience with 100, that patience compounds too. So his real goal isn't maximizing this one investment. It's training a system that will handle larger amounts later. Now let's zoom out, because there's a bigger force at play here, the market itself. It's designed to transfer money from the impatient to the patient. That's not poetic. That's structural. Every time someone panic sells, someone else buys. Every time someone overpays for hype, someone else waits. The system rewards discipline, but only over long periods. In the short term, it often looks random. That's why people lose faith. They expect immediate feedback. Buffett doesn't. He's comfortable being early, or looking wrong for a while. Because he's not playing for the next quarter, he's playing for decades. And that brings us back to the $100. Because the amount is almost irrelevant. What matters is whether you're willing to adopt that time horizon. Would you buy something today, knowing you won't touch it for years? Would you ignore the constant noise telling you to act? Would you accept slow growth in exchange for higher certainty? Most people won't. And that's why the strategy works. If it felt exciting, everyone would do it. If it worked quickly, it wouldn't work for long. Buffett's approach survives because it's emotionally difficult, not intellectually difficult. Anyone can understand it. Very few can stick with it. So if he had $100 today, the steps would look almost boring. Wait. Filter aggressively. Choose 1 or 2 high-quality businesses. Invest. And then do nothing. No constant checking. No reacting to every drop. No need to feel productive. Just let time and compounding do their quiet work. And here's the final uncomfortable thought. If that sounds too slow, too passive, too uneventful, then the real question isn't how Buffett would invest $100. It's whether you actually want to invest, or just feel like you are.